What's going on, everyone? So in episode 7 of season 3 of From, we see Elgin start to go down his own journey and trying to uncover and help the Kimono lady, right? He, in episode 6, started taking pictures. He talks to and actually listens to the Kimono lady this time. And you get the whole, hey, if you help me, I can set you free. I can set everyone free. The story as old as time. And it kind of feels like Elgin is headed down this dark path. That Elgin is headed towards potentially even his demise. But we get to kind of see the beginning stages, it feels like, of his journey. I kind of wanted another scene, if I'm being honest. I don't mind the slow build. I don't mind the direction in which they're going and you know, kind of building these stories with these various characters, as long as the payoff is good. But I would have liked, they kind of left us hanging with Elgin, right? So he, again, using the camera, Polaroids are being snapped, things are kind of happening, and he's getting all these images on as like breadcrumbs, as like a map to go down this journey through the pictures on the Polaroid, right? He has this kind of like dream catcher type thing that he made, that he says is for Fatima, but ends up hanging it right next to him, and then sets the camera down, and the camera just takes a picture on its own. He pulls out the picture and has something on the picture, and he goes on this journey in which we see him going to the cellar, right? To the little basement that we saw Julie when she went into the tree. That's where she was able to escape Colony House being attacked. And then also that is where Jade saw the man crushed by the boulder, right? So there is been kind of this connection, this tie to that particular place since, you know, season 1, right? So it's kind of like, okay, well, what is that? Is it just some random cellar, or is there actually a purpose? Well, we're starting to see the actual purpose with that. And it appears to be the Kimono lady's body. Now, we don't know for certain yet. And the type of clothes that the body was wearing kind of make you question, is it somebody else? Now, there could be several ways. Like, so Elgin says, so this is where it happened. Something along those lines, right? And we kind of get cut off from there. So we don't know, is that her body? Is it somebody else's body? Is it makes sense that it would be the Kimono lady's body, because that's who he's trying to help. That's the journey he's going down. But again, the kind of clothing is a bit questionable. Now, that could be answered in a million ways, right? Like, they could have, you know, put those clothes on her to mask who she is, right? Because she was hidden pretty good, right? It seems like the Kimono lady is the one that kind of knocked, right? Because he's like trying to find, goes in a little cabinet thing, nothing. He goes to leave and walk away, and then he hears the knocking, moves it over, and there's this door behind it, right? So it kind of feels like it was something that hadn't been discovered in a very long time. You see the body, it's basically a skeleton at that point, or it is a skeleton at that point. And so could it be that just whoever put the body there, those were the clothes that they threw on her? You know, maybe they stripped her for like some sacrifice or something, right? We've seen like with the Ankui children, right? Them on the stone slabs. There's also the possibility that maybe the Kimono lady went in there for hiding or something, and kind of got locked in. She, or at least it has appeared to be, that she's been connected and tied to Fatima. And so was she going through the same type of transformation Fatima is currently going through, right? And then maybe that is why she was locked in there. Maybe they locked her in that room so she couldn't hurt anybody, she couldn't harm anybody, and she just eventually died and you know, decayed. Right? There's, again, a lot of kind of information to kind of unpack here. There's a lot of directions in which they could go here. But Elgin is finally starting to listen to the spirit. Is this kind of the end for him? Kind of feels like that's what's going to happen at some point. I don't necessarily see him helping her and actually escaping and getting out. Now, could they? Maybe. But, I just feel like you don't want to let too many people out, right? You just did that with Tabitha. Do you really want to do it with Elgin? And it just kind of becomes this thing where it's like, okay, well, now everyone's getting out. You get to get out. You get to get out. And you get to get out. Although you could argue, he completes his mission. Right? He actually wins his level of the game and gets to escape. Could that be something? But Elgin has been linked to Fatima for some time now. And I thought that he was headed down the path to be Fatima food. That at some point, Fatima was going to kill him by accident or maybe deliberately and make a meal of him. But now we saw with Fatima, Tilly. Right? Tilly is the one that actually accidentally gets killed, or we don't know for sure if she's killed yet, but probably is my guess. And could Tilly kind of become food for Fatima at some point? Right? Ellis walks in on her, and so you'd imagine that kind of puts a halt to that, at least momentarily. But do they hide the body somewhere, and then, kind of she goes back and makes a meal of Tilly? Could be a possibility, right? Tilly has kind of been linked to Fatima as well, and Elgin. You kind of have this like little circle of characters. But Elgin, I thought, was headed down the path for Fatima to be the meal. He still could. Maybe he's the meal that kind of turns her full monster. It's a possibility. But the likely scenario, as we're kind of seeing things unravel, we're seeing things unfold. And something that I've talked about is it kind of feels like we're at the stage with these characters to where they're the ones that are going to overcome and kind of do or fix what everyone else failed to fix, right? Like Tabitha, we kind of seems like she's going to be the chosen one that solves her puzzle. Boyd's going to be the one that does his thing, right? Jade's going to be the one to solve the numbers and the symbols and all that stuff, right? Like everybody that is in this iteration of Fromville are all going to be the ones that finally figure it out. And so it feels like that Elgin is going to be that part where, again, maybe the Kimono lady was Fatima before Fatima, and she was meant to turn and have the same fate that Fatima is going through right now, but they locked her away, and instead of locking Fatima away, or maybe that's what the Kimono lady tells Elgin, like, hey, you're going to have to lock her away. But I could see something where maybe Elgin figures out how to save Fatima. And Elgin ends up stopping Fatima from changing into the monster that she appears to be becoming. Right? And so Fatima kind of overcomes what the previous version of her was unable to do, and it's through Elgin, not Boyd or anybody else. Right? It's kind of what it feels like. But it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of play this out with Elgin. Right? There's still so many different ways and directions in which they can go with this, right? There's so many different possibilities in which that this can all kind of play out and take place. I imagine that body is the Kimono lady's body. I think the Kimono lady, now that we kind of are unpacking things, I think the Kimono lady was Fatima before Fatima, and now Elgin is going to be the hero to kind of save. Right? And then also, I mean, you hear like Ellis tells his dad, like basically, don't let this happen, please. Like, I need you to fix this type thing. And I don't think it's something that he can fix, but I do think it will potentially get fixed. Just how far does she become before Elgin is able to fix it, right? Does he actually fix it? Is it possible that it's too late by that time? There's, again, a lot to kind of unpack, a lot to unravel here, and I am very excited to see where Elgin's path goes as well as Fatima's, but they're definitely tied, definitely linked, and I think that we're going to start seeing things ramp up. Again, we only have 3 episodes left, so got to imagine that things are going to really start ramping up, things are going to really start picking up as we move forward. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think, like, yeah, Elgin's going to be the hero? Elgin's going to be the one that kind of solves this puzzle? Do you think that the body was indeed the Kimono lady's? Do you think it probably somebody else's? Think the Kimono lady's going to kind of help Elgin save Fatima? Do you think Fatima's going to turn full dark side? What do you think happens to Elgin? Think he dies? Becomes Fatima food? Just solves the puzzle and gets out and escapes? Right? Does he complete his level of the game? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out as we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.